Welcome guys to my series on how to become your authentic self. So today I'll share with you a story on how if you do not respect who you really are, you can pay a big price. And I have paid a big price on my health because I couldn't say no to a situation and I couldn't actually respect my intuition. So the story goes back when I was working for a nonprofit with newcomers. I had already a lot on my hands. I just started to work there and I had to be with the newcomers, help them figure out a bit what they have to do when they come into Canada. And my boss called me and he asked me if I can deal with a new project. And the project was really big and I had to start from zero that project. That project was a housing project, which required to gather people that were elderly and newcomers and put them together so they can share a housing, which was a really beautiful project. But because I just started this work, I was just figuring out the new work that I was doing. It was a bit too much on my hands and I didn't say no. I took in the project and I started to become very overwhelmed. And with time, after like 3 months into that project, I had a severe depression. The depression came up with the fact that I did not want to go to work anymore. Everything seemed to be too much for me. I was not able to handle anything, like the working with people with newcomers. I couldn't do that. Thinking about the new project, I couldn't do that because everything was so messy in my head. I ended up having a burnout. After that, I diagnosed myself as having a burnout and I actually ended up going to the hospital. If you want to know the full story, I can make another video about that. Just put in the comments if you want to know that story about me going to the hospital, how I overcame it. But yeah, I did not honor my no. I did not honor who I really was. The fact that I did not respect that I was overloaded and I couldn't actually pinpoint what was going on with me. So when I came back to work, I was able to diagnose that it was too much on my hands, that I couldn't juggle, because you cannot do everything at the same time, and you cannot get like a best at everything if you do multiple tasks. But when I came back, I started to honor my voice and I started to honor who I really was. And I came to the office of my boss and I told him that I want to do like 2 days of that project and 3 days of this project. And this way I was able to manage both of the projects. But it took me time to realize that I needed to say something in order to get the result, that the result would not come if I do not speak up for myself. From that moment, I learned to actually use my voice to speak up for myself. So this is what I'm telling you, honoring who you are is just simple as honoring your voice, honoring your truth. If you feel that something is off at your job, in your relationship, you have to speak it out, because if you do not put it on the table, how do the other person will know what you're going through? So this is one thing that I have learned through the moment that I was going through my depression. I learned that I was not able to say no to some things, and I was not able to express myself fully to make the other person understand what I really want. In all the things that I was going through, I was able to diagnose what I was really wanting. I was able to speak it out. If you like this kind of video, please put a thumb up. If you want to share a story where you felt like you did not use your voice and you were not authentic with yourself, please comment down below. I'll read all of your comments and I love to read them. If you're new to this community, subscribe to my channel. Here we'll learn how to be your authentic self, and I will leave you by saying you don't need permission to be yourself. You are completely and beautiful the way you are. I love you guys and I see you in my next one. Bye guys.